Hello, hello, and welcome to this very special full moon in Capricorn reading. My name is Liz. I am the Femme Genius, and I am so excited about the full moon in Capricorn for July 21st, 2024. This is the second full moon in Capricorn this July, this year, or this Cancer season, sorry. And I'm so excited about this because we've had such a powerful month since the last full moon in Capricorn back in June. And so, as we're moving into this second full moon in Cancer under the sign of Capricorn, it's really revealing to us at a deeper level what needs to go, what hidden truths we have, and what we're inviting in. So, we're never just saying, like, okay, I need to release all this stuff. And we're never just saying, like, this is everything I want to manifest. There's this dance, there's this cosmic conversation that's happening, and you're privy to it. So if you tune in to the energies that this full moon in Capricorn are bringing in for you, you can move mountains, baby, because it's really time to become aware. We've got Pluto at 0 degrees in Aquarius happening right at the same time as this full moon. And what that means is that some unknowns, some things that we didn't know about ourselves, about our healing process, are going to start coming into the light. Full moons are also luminaries. They light things up for us. They reveal things for us. And they also make things happen faster. They speed things up. There's a quickening. The sign of Capricorn is our cardinal earth sign, which means that they're here to make things happen. But they can also get attached to an outcome, attached to a process. So we're also looking at where our attachments are and what's been holding us back. I'm just going to look at my notes for a second. It helps us align with our goals and start to see results. Mars and Uranus are showing up here with this full moon too. So we've got passion, courage, desire for action, positive changes in our lives. But that also means that some uncomfortable truths and past unprocessed feelings are going to be coming to the surface to be dealt with, to be processed, so that way we can move toward our goals. All of these, imperceivable barriers, but felt barriers that we come up against as we're going through these processes, we're getting like a double shot of it under this full moon in Capricorn to say, like, what wants to stay, what wants to go. The energy of Capricorn in the major arcana of the tarot is the Devil card. And that's really talking about our dependencies, codependencies, the things that control us, the things that we're stuck on. And so this is going to be a really important time to cut some cords with those things, to be aware of what's coming up for us, to notice how life is kind of rearranging itself around us, to say, like, hey, have you checked in this closet recently? This can also be a really great time to clean house, to go through some closets, give some things to Goodwill, get rid of some stuff physically, so that way you're embodying this energy of, like, I'm making room to make some headway toward my goals. So in this period before this full moon in Capricorn, it could be a really powerful time to start really identifying, like, what's a goal for me right now? Because then all this energy has somewhere to kind of anchor into, to show you, okay, here's what you need to do. You have a little bit more awareness, a little bit more GPS on it. I also want to mention that we have a breathwork session that I'll be leading in my private group, but it's also open to the public for $22 a person for you and a friend. And that's happening on Sunday under this full moon, July 21st. And that's going to be happening at 6 p.m. Central European Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 9 a.m. Pacific Time. So if you're willing to join, if you'd like to join a somatic breathwork practice to really move some energy through this whole lunar process, to really reveal some things, to move things out, to release, we would love to have you. That information will be in the link below. And I'm just going to say one last thing before we jump into the signs. The full moon will be going completely full at 3:17 a.m. Pacific time on the 21st, 6:17 a.m. Eastern time, 11:17 a.m. if you're in London, and 12:17 if you're in Central Europe. And then going east from here, it's going to be later and later. So just so that way you're aware of when this energy is really going to be at its height, that's going to be the most powerful time to be doing your practices, to be perhaps journaling, releasing some things. This is also a great time if you have crystals or cards to put them out in the light of the moon. I also like to charge up some moon water. My plants seem to love drinking moon water. So there's a little few little practices for you. But without further ado, we're going to be going through all 12 zodiac signs. You're each going to be getting a mini reading here. And that way you can see what the full moon in Capricorn has in store for you, where the energy is supported, what you could be doing. We'll see what comes up for you. I recommend watching at least for your sun, moon, and rising sign. If you don't know what your sun, moon, and rising signs are, and you have your birth information, like your birth date, birth time, and the place where you were born, you can go onto a site like astro.com and just put in your information. You'll find all that information there. They'll generate a free chart for you. Your rising sign is also sometimes called your ascendant. So keep an eye out for that. So we're going to be starting with, who are we starting with? Is it going to be Aries? Is it going to be Cancer? Is it going to be Capricorn? I think it's going to be Aries. We're going to start with the astrological year. We're starting with Aries. Welcome, welcome Aries to your full moon in Capricorn, July 2024 reading. And we're pulling out, I think there's going to be, okay, there's 6 cards. Okay. So Aries, this one is going to be challenging for you. And I don't like to be doom and gloom, but I also don't like to give like false optimism and just be like, just ride the wave, baby. We are going to ride the wave, but I think it's important to know like what things might be popping up so that way you can adjust. And so the very first thing that came out was this King of Cups. And the thing that's pulling my eye into this King of Cups is this little sea monster over here. See him? He's coming out of the ocean over there. This guy looks like he's fine. He's about to dip his toe in the water. He's got his emotional cup open. He's ready to expand. He's in charge of his emotional body. He allows himself to feel what he needs to feel. But there's this little thing popping up. So I feel like there's this old unprocessed, monster in the closet or old unprocessed energy that is going to come up. And it just feels like use your emotional strength without judgment. The judgment card came out reversed. Using your emotional strength without judgment of what this means about you as a person, or what this means about what you've healed or what you still need to heal. We're just going to take all judgment off the table, because it feels like the type of thing where you're going to be like, seriously, am I back there? You're not. You're here. Anchor in here. You are the King of Cups. You have done this work. Aries, trust it. But the thing is that as you do the healing and as you move through life, these little toad heads or like sea monsters are going to pop up from time to time. And this just means that you still had an unacknowledged attachment somewhere. So approach it without judgment and call in your helpers. You have the 3 of Pentacles. It feels like this is a moment where you're being asked to build something, to communicate what you need, to go back. I just heard like go back to the scene of the crime, whether that's internally or with someone else. Like if this is something that may have happened with a sibling or a friend who you might still be in contact with, but this is like years back, like childhood stuff, like an old flame or an old unresolved thing where you really feel like you've buried all of that and you've worked through all of it. But there's something coming up where it's like, rely on the people around you who knew you then, who know you now, and who can help you like sort through something with it, because there's happiness here. 10 of Cups. There is happiness on offer where it does feel like you're going to be able to move through this. But the important part is don't judge yourself. Don't shy away. Don't turn your back on your healing. Allow yourself to stay with the process, stay with the feelings until they neutralize. Keep asking yourself questions. How does this feel? Where do I feel it in my body? How can I stay with it? I'm here for you. I hear you. I see you. Does this energy need to show me anything? Do I need to learn something from this? Like get really curious under this full moon around the energies that are showing up. Feels like there might be a little bit of boredom. Again, like seeing what shows up and then being like, no, that's not the thing that's not the thing I want to deal with. Guess what? You have to. 5 of Swords is going to keep showing up until you deal with it. So now's as good a time as any, Aries. I hope this helps. Have a wonderful full moon and stay with it. All right. So we're moving into Taurus energy. Taurus, welcome to your full moon in Capricorn reading. Taurus, this is your sister sign of Capricorn. So you're the fixed earth sign, and Capricorn is the cardinal earth sign. And I just heard someone in my head yell, "You're not the boss of me." And so, Taurus, I want to invite you into what may be getting illuminated. This feels kind of similar to the Aries reading, but where you're really being revealed or shown that there's something inside of you that's tired of being controlled. There's something inside of you that's tired of someone else or an old memory or an old thought or an old connection that still has power over you. And so, a powerful phrase that you can use or a powerful mantra that you can be saying under this full moon is, "You're not the boss of me." Maybe it's, "You're not the boss of me anymore," or "You're not the boss of me, period." Or whatever your version of that is, but it's direct. It's you, it's second person telling someone directly. And even if they're not around anymore in your life or they're not present here with you, just energetically, you being able to say that to like a vision of that person feels really powerful. I keep saying the word powerful, powerful, powerful for you. And so I'm saying that this full moon is going to help you feel really powerful if you allow yourself to. Because the flip side of this is, "You're not the boss of me anymore," and just whining and feeling like you're being pulled down by this and that there's weight to it that's not helpful. Feels almost like a ball and chain on my leg where I can't ever, like, I can move forward, but it's not at the pace I want to. It's not allowing me to feel free. It's not allowing me to be in my full power or my power or my full capability. So there's something there. The cards that came out are interesting because the first three, you got the Three of Swords. So we're going to be working through some old, mindsets, emotional pain, scars. These swords need to come out of the heart. And I would venture to say that during the storm is as good a time as any, because during the storm, at least you know that the wound will be getting cleaned. So it feels like saying like this full moon in Capricorn is available for you to actually take care of these wounds and get through them. And what's going to happen is all of these other painful things, it's like you take back the power. You now have the crown. You now have the mistletoe and the palm, and there's like the light of God there. It's enlightened. And so I feel like this fist grabbing the sword, it's almost like the last one that you pulled out. You're like, "Yes, this is mine." And there's a tower moment happening too, where whatever doesn't serve you gets knocked off. It just gets flattened. You don't need it anymore. We've got the Hermit reversed. So it feels like now is not necessarily the time to go inward. It feels like this more like relational healing, where the healing is going to happen much more in like a much more potent way if you're able to be in conversation with others, because it feels like there's something around like the way the conversation goes or the way that you feel about it that's going to reveal like a tick or something that ticks you off or a trigger point or like that unhealed tip of the iceberg where you're like, "Why am I so irritated with Jane the way she said that?" There's something here around that. And it feels like it then, by you staying with it, it turns into the wisdom. Wheel of Fortune, it feels like you're clearing out some old cycles too. Not only for yourself, but in like family lineage, in bloodlines. There's something here too around, look, there you are. There you are, your little Taurus. You're reading your book. Yeah, it feels like we're moving through some old cycles that no longer serve you. So Taurus, I hope that's helpful. Have a happy full moon in Capricorn. You can do this. You're going to move some stuff out. It's going to be amazing. Hello, hello, Gemini, and welcome to your July 2024 full moon in Capricorn reading. Let's pull for Gemini. Let's see what's coming out. I'm using this traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck for now. Gemini. Okay. Oh. All right, Gemini. Oh, you got a whole bunch of cards. Okay. The first two that came out, you had King of Cups and the Eight of Cups. And what I'm hearing is like the king's wisest move is to know when to walk away. And so trust your emotions to tell you. It feels like your head stays way longer than your heart does. Like your heart knows when your heart goes out of it first. You know what I'm thinking of, like a job where, a lot of times your head's like, this makes sense to stay. Like, we're supposed to be here. This is my career. I'm taking care of things. And so, like, the head will convince you to stay, but it's like long before you ever put in your resignation, like your heart left the building. And so, there's something here where it feels like an alignment between the heart and the head under this full moon, where it's saying, like, you know what? The king listens to his heart. And when the heart is leaving the building, he's going with it. Because he's like, that's a vital part of this whole package. That's a vital part of who I am. And I'm not sitting here anymore if my heart has already gone. I'm following that. I'm following the love. I'm following the joy. And that's super powerful. You got the Queen of Pentacles. This is one of these Capricorn energy cards too, where you know that when you follow your heart, quite literally, when you follow where your heart wants to go and where it wants to be, this is going to be abundant for you. You're going to feel solid. You're going to know where to find the resources. Things are just going to show up for you. You've got the Hermit in your corner, where that wisdom, that inner light is going to guide you. Page of Swords. This is you. This is you, Gemini, where this energy of, I've been swinging this sword all over the place until I'm red in the face. Now I'm going to shift gears a little bit and actually start being a little bit more clever and a little bit more crafty in where I'm pursuing things. So again, switching from the head to the heart. King of Pentacles came out. So you got the King and the Queen of Pentacles. And so the King of Pentacles knows how to take what the Queen of Pentacles has and make sure that it's evergreen. where she's surrounded by the garden, he's wearing it on his robes. And on his robes, he has all these grapes, and grapes in the tarot talk about knowing how to grow things, knowing how to grow things that are perhaps tricky or require a lot of skill to grow. So trusting that the resources are not only there, but that you have the skill to grow them, even if it seems tricky to other people, because you have cultivated a very specific skill set, one that now integrates your heart. See how that works? We also have the Five of Wands, which a lot of people talk about as like, the challenge of learning, but it's also training, practicing, getting to learn things in a no stakes environment or very, very low stakes environment. See how they're all working with these sticks, but they're not swords. They're not learning how to sword fight with swords. They're using the wands. They're using the sticks. So that way it's very low risk. It's very low stakes. So take the learning opportunities as they come along, follow your heart, and remember that you're doing this in a way that is not high risk. You get to learn in a more heart-aligned and safe environment. So I hope that that's helpful, Gemini. Happy full moon in Capricorn. Hello, hello, Cancer, and welcome to your full moon in Capricorn reading. This is your season, so I'm so excited that you've had 2 full moons this year in your season. I hope this has felt really expansive. Let's see what's coming up for you under this full moon, your second full moon in Capricorn coming up in your sign. So let's see. This is for Cancer, and Cancer, you're on this axis with Capricorn. So when I say axis, you're opposites on the zodiac wheel. So that's why in your sign, you have the new moon in Cancer, the full moon in Capricorn, because it's happening in the zodiac sign that's opposite to you on the wheel. But so when we see Capricorn and Cancer in dialogue with each other, it's really talking also about that the maturation process, the understanding what it is you don't know, and then maturing into knowledge, wisdom, practice, especially emotional wisdom and intelligence. So there's something really special happening between you and Capricorn. I couldn't say the word. That's funny because when I just said I couldn't say the word, it's like, yeah, I did. I said the word. So there's something here too about like listening to what's coming out of your mouth because it feels like there might be old limiting beliefs or like old limiting things that you've been saying about yourself that are just no longer true. So the first card that's coming out for you, Cancer, is the Six of Pentacles. And this is about like the balance of give and take and really understanding, like, you know what, sometimes you're the giver and sometimes you're going to be in the position to be the receiver. And being able to find gratitude in both and being able to find wisdom in both of those parts of the journey, or being able to find balance between them. Like maybe you're finding yourself in a space of abundance right now. My hand just got really hot. Maybe you're finding yourself in a space of abundance. And so really checking in with yourself around, what does this mean for me? What do I do with my abundance? Do I share it with others? Do I invite others into it? Do I hoard it? Do I save it for a rainy day? Do I build with it? Do I show gratitude for it? Or do I ignore it and then watch as things like dwindle away and then cry about it in my soup because I'm like, oh, I didn't appreciate what I had then. So there's something around really taking an active role in which of these characters you're finding yourself in right now. And if it is the person who's kind of asking for something or looking to receive, really being grateful for that too. Getting yourself in a mindset of receiving without shame, having needs without shame. Feels like there may be some shame coming up under this full moon, or places in you or within you that hold shame, or memories that hold shame. And so being able to really identify that and process it and remind yourself, like, I have nothing to be ashamed of. I did my best in that moment. I now have a different vantage point. So I get to support who I was then as my future self and say, you know what? I know that you're doing your best, but you can also tell that guy to go right off. Okay. So there's something here around like the beauty of this and the gratitude with it, being able to show up without judgment for yourself, letting new beginnings start without judging who you were when the old beginnings started. So there's something like moving into the new, for you in particular, can sometimes bring up judgment or self-judgment, or being like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this sooner? Oh my gosh, this is so perfect for me. Why didn't, and like, I've always known it was perfect for me, but why didn't I take the risk or take the leap? And there's something here just saying like, that's going to be a waste of your time. That's going to slow you down right now. So if you feel judgment or like regret coming up, it's not to say to ignore it, but move through it quickly. Be like, what am I ashamed of that I didn't know? That's like saying like, I didn't know when I was 7 how to drive stick. What a dummy I was. When really it's like, because there was no context for it. There was no need for it. I didn't have a way to use that. I didn't have all the other skills needed around that to actually implement it. So I forgive myself. There's nothing to even forgive, but I'm sure as hell not going to be ashamed of a younger version of myself that was doing the best they could and didn't even know that this path existed because no one had shown it to them before. But I'm taking the driver's seat now and I'm seeing that. I don't know why all these car things are coming up. I'm not a car person. I don't even drive stick. I don't know why. I don't know why that came up as the example. So maybe it's for one of you in particular, but there's something around like just really like letting go of the shame under this full moon, because the Knight of Wands is coming up and like you've got places to go and people to see. You've got visions, you've got ways, you've got growth, you've got a way to get there. You have the vehicle. If somebody here's buying a new car, it just feels like this full moon in Capricorn could be a really good time to do it. We've got death reversed. So it ain't over till it's over. It feels like you thought something was going to end or that you had like closed a deal or something. And it feels like there may be like another legal point or something else that's coming up. So don't let yourself get sucked into the frustration spiral with that. Just be like, okay, we got another detail that came up to the table right at the very last second, or like something we weren't looking at that's now, you know, what's coming to mind is almost like, you know, that you've bought property to build on and all of a sudden like an inspection comes back at the 11th hour that like there's a sinkhole on the property or something like that. It just feels like this deflated balloon, but like not getting sucked into it's destroyed, because there's this energy of surrender with the Hanged Man coming through, especially for you. Like go with the flow, let yourself be guided. Don't get caught in the old mental prison. This is an opportunity for you to see your way out of it. This is an A and B conversation, so see your way out. This is an opportunity for you to be doing some self-rescuing, really getting into what is it that I need right now. This feels like that maturation, maturing, allowing yourself to grow up a little bit and take care of yourself, take care of your worries, take care of your anxieties, show up for what you need, and see what happens. So I hope this is helpful, Cancer. Happy birthday, by the way. And I hope you're doing well under this full moon in Capricorn. Welcome, Leo, to your full moon in Capricorn 2024 reading. I'm so excited for you, Leo. And your birthday's coming up. So I hope you're getting geared up for that. I know you love to shine. We have Venus in your sign until August 4th. So I'm super excited about that. This is time, for that love light to shine. And this is going to be just whatever it is you want. Okay. Call it into existence. So let's see what's going on for you under this full moon in Capricorn. All right. We're trying to make some decisions from our heads. And Leo, I love you so much, but this is not where you make decisions from. You make decisions from the heart, from the soul, from the gut, from your shine, from your light, from your interactions with others, from the way that you're just like bursting with energy. So of course there's a misalignment here where I feel like you're sitting there like, what do I do? Like, that's not you. That's not a good look for you. And I say that with full affection and full love and full promise, because it just feels like you're a fish out of water. This, like, trying to hold things super steady with just your mental power, it's draining, babe. So it feels like this full moon is going to really illuminate for you, like, where you've been, Seven of Swords, fooling yourself and being like, I can balance it all in my head. It's like when you're at a restaurant and you have like a table of like 8 people and the waitress comes and she's taking, or waiter, the server comes and they're taking your order and they're taking drinks and food at the same time. And you're just like, please write it down. Like, why? Please write it down. I understand that, like, you probably do this all the time and you have a method, but like inevitably something comes out wrong or something's missed or something, a drink is wrong. And so there's something, but it's like that server's just like, I can do it. I've got a system. And so I'm hearing you being like, I don't need to write it down. I've got a system. Write it down. Like, even if it feels like you don't need to, and I'm saying write it down in quotes, like maybe it is physically writing something down or like keeping something in your diary / schedule, whatever you call it. Maybe it's also like writing some things out, like writing out an idea instead of like trying to hold it all in your head, you're moving it through your body. But it feels like by moving it through your body, by writing it down, by actually using the very easy tools that are right there to help you, you're going to be following some inspiration. It feels like more tools are going to show up. More growth is going to show up. More opportunities are going to show up. So if you've been trying to figure out something up here, write it out, see what starts showing up. It feels like there's some manifestation happening here, but it's actually like getting it out of your head and onto a page is going to be a really important step under this full moon. And it feels like also chatting about it with your friends, going out and having a really good time, going out and creating something that feels really joyful for you. Follow the joy. Follow the people and the things that really light your heart up, that make you feel abundant, that make you feel like you could do anything because that's who you are and that is what you're capable of. F the haters, 7 of Wands. Like, you know what? People in the cheap seats are just that. They're people in the cheap seats. They don't have the guts to be in the arena or on the stage the way that you do. And so it's really easy for people to be like, you're doing it wrong. When it's like, you don't know wrong, like you're in your bubble of peace up here where you're like, hey, step off. Okay. At least I'm up here. At least I'm giving it a try. At least I'm being creative. And it feels like that's going to get things moving for you in a big embodied way where you're going to be back in the Leo seat just in time for your season. So let this full moon start illuminating for you, like where things may have been going on up here, write them out, get them out, start moving that energy and watch the magic unfold. I hope this is helpful for you, Leo. I'll see you soon. Welcome, welcome, Virgo, to your second full moon in Capricorn, July 2024 reading. Ooh, this is for the sign of Virgo. Let's see what's going on. What do they need to know under this full moon in Capricorn? Thank you. All right, we've got a whole bunch of things. So Virgo, you know what you bring to the table. You know what you have going on. You know all of the tangible bits. This is you, the Queen of Pentacles. Like, you pay attention to the details, and guess what? You watch them grow. You watch things flourish. It's grounded. It's you. We have this full moon happening in your sister sign of Capricorn. It's so beautiful. But what's so amazing is that you're also flexible, and that's what growth needs. It needs some rigidity and some attention to the details, and it also needs room to grow. So it feels like that's going to be really important. We have the Eight of Pentacles here too. You have the skills that it takes. It feels like there's going to be some illumination of where your skills can be used or where your skills are needed. So really brush up on skills. So if there's like any kind of continuing education or workshops coming up, or especially around this full moon in Capricorn, where you can learn how to hone a skill or learn how to build a skill, this would be a really good time to do that. Five of Cups. The bridge to the next castle is right here. You can't take all of these emotions with you, all these memories. And so you're having to let go of some of them and process them, but don't get stuck here. Remember that you have two cups here that are still drinkable, still usable, and they're here for this journey. So it's time to take this journey, take your cups with you. You are going to have to let some things go, but don't get stuck there. Okay. So it feels like you're going to be releasing some emotion. So if you're feeling like people are triggering you, or people are like the blast from the past is showing up, meet it with gratitude. See what you need to see there. Don't get stuck out in the snow. Don't get stuck out. There's a lot of pentacles here for you, by the way. So it feels like there's tangible benefits coming through, but don't get stuck. Don't get dragged down into other people's shit. Okay. There's a lot of abundance. Nine of Pentacles is here. This is really watching everything ripen on the vine, watching all of your hard work come to fruition. So that's why you don't want to get caught up in other people's drama, because it's going to deter you from seeing this happening. We've got a turning of the Wheel of Fortune. So some old karmic cycles are going to clear out. Let them. So I feel like there's going to be like a movement of people in and out of your life. There's going to be a rearrangement of the people in your life, or the things that were important to you, a reprioritization. Virgo, you're so good at that. You're still going to be sitting on that beautiful Queen of Pentacles throne. So let yourself go through that process. And we also have the Empress. Create with this. This is so beautiful. It feels like there's so much expansion on offer for you. It's tangible expansion. I'm talking like offers, money, launches, that type of work. So, and I feel like it's starting with this full moon in Capricorn. It's going to move all the way to the end of your season. So it feels like you're starting this couple month cycle from this end of July until the end of September. So really buckle up, let yourself get creative. Don't hold yourself back. Don't prejudge your decisions or dreams. I mean, just let the dreams unfold. I hope that's helpful. Hello, hello, Libra, and welcome to your full moon in Capricorn 2024 reading. I'm so excited about connecting with the Libra energy. So let's see what comes up for the Libra, please. And we just want to see what's supporting their highest and greatest good under this full moon in Capricorn. So we got a couple here and then some there. What I love about you in so many ways is that you, okay. All right. Is that you have this really amazing sense of the way you think, what things being lined up, like your ducks in a row looking like, what this vision you have for what a well-ordered life looks like, what makes sense to you. And at the opposite side of the why am I talking like this of the zodiac wheel? You have Aries. And so there's something here too, you being Libra, where we talk a lot about balance with you and justice and what's fair and what's right and what's equal and what's, not. On the other side of your balance is we have the Emperor. We have Aries on the opposite side of the zodiac wheel. And this was the very first one that came up. And so when I think about balance, it's something that's really fluid and it's something that is like constantly going like this. Like balance doesn't feel stagnant. It feels like it's a moving energy where we're constantly adjusting. And the Emperor has that ram energy. He's sitting on that very solid throne. He's got those mountains behind him. He's got that ankh in his hand. And it just feels like he's very set in his ways. And so it feels like places where you are rigid and set in your ways are going to be illuminated for you under this full moon. And there's going to be that question of what do you want to do with it? And I feel like you, Knight of Swords, this is you, should just go full steam ahead and cut that out. Cut out the rigidity. Really bring some flexibility in. Remember that because Aries is also a cardinal sign like you are, like Capricorn is. So actually that's really interesting. We have 3 of the cardinal signs in the deck or in the zodiac gear. And really being able to let yourself get clear on what are the words that I'm trying to say? Let yourself get clear on what matters to you, what is helpful for you, and then be flexible around it. Don't get stuck in your ways. Again, like having an idea of like, this is the way it should be. Fluid temperance, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. This is going to bring you back into like your balance. It feels like you might have been stuck in this rigidity for like 6 or 7 months now. And so maybe go back to like what happened around Christmas or early January and really see like what shifted for me then. Like what flipped things over to make me feel like things had to be very like this as opposed to flowing, because it feels like there's this call to flow. Rest, give yourself some time to reflect, let yourself build some new boundaries around what is and isn't allowed. I keep burping here. I feel like I'm totally lost in your reading all of a sudden too. So lifting that rigidity under this full moon may lead to some feelings of loss or like, I don't really know what I'm doing here. You do. You're going to be okay. It's all right. It's okay to feel a little bit lost because that's going to incentivize you to find your way. See how that works? Find your way. Page of Swords. Use your smarts. Use your cleverness. Go back to that younger version of yourself who would experiment and be like, okay, I have a vision of what my ducks being in a row looks like. Let me try some things. So it feels like this is going to be a time to try some different ways of doing things. It's going to lead to this Queen of Cups. Really being in deeper touch with your emotions, what you really want to be achieving, how you want to feel. So not just how it looks, that's where we started from, but this full moon in Capricorn is really going to illuminate not just how it looks, but how it feels. So let yourself play with this, let yourself move from rigidity to fluidity, and let yourself really be open to seeing like how much you've created in your life that may not fit the ducks in a row vision, but that feels really friggin' good. So I hope that's helpful, Libra. Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your full moon in Capricorn 2024 reading. This is for the sign of Scorpio, sun, moon, rising, or wherever it's prominent in your chart. So let's see what information we can get for Scorpio, please. Scorpio. All right. Okay, beautiful. We're going to start with the Two of Wands. Okay, and I'm going to talk about the Two of Wands while I'm pulling your other cards. Whoa, they're flying out. I'm not going to talk about the Two of Wands while I'm pulling your other cards because I'm going to lose my spot. Okay. All right, here we go. Two of Wands. Whatever it is you've been doing, Scorpio, you've been creating the set of circumstances that helps you feel like anything is possible. And under this full moon in Capricorn, it feels like it's really going to illuminate all of this vastness of possibility that's showing up for you. So it's time to actually take the bull by the horns, take life by the and actually do something about it. If you have the world at your feet, if you have all possibilities equally in front of you, what is it that you're going to choose? Because it's not time to be boring. It's time to be expansive. It's time to be abundant. It's time to take what it is that you do really well and take it out to the world. So I don't know if this is a change of scenery, a change of career, or some type of launch, or sharing your voice in some way, but it feels like there's this taking it from small to big. We have the King of Pentacles here. So you have the skills. It feels like don't hold back on what it is that you know that you can provide, that you know that you can give, that you know that you're showing up with, you know that he's got these grapes all over his robe. That's somebody who is very skilled at cultivating long-term abundance. So don't worry about like the investment that you're making. I'm not talking about like just throw your money away, but I'm talking about like if you're following something that feels really aligned for you, Scorpio, trust that you have your own back, that you can protect yourself, and that you can sniff out if something's not aligned or if something's a little bit fishy. You're putting down the weight of other people's expectations through this process. That's the 10 of Wands. Page of Cups, some fun new opportunities are they going to show up, but it feels like exactly under this full moon that you're going to have to first release other people's stuff, other people's baggage, other people's expectations, so that way you can receive the fun, new, dreamy quality that's on offer for you. So letting yourself dream big, letting yourself get carried away feels really big. Just not feeling the pressure of having to make a decision. So we had the Two of Wands starting, and now we have the Two of Swords, and they're a little bit different in their duality energy, where the Two of Wands is like, everything's possible, go for it. You can see as far as you can, like, go for it. And this one's like, you're blindfolded. You're under the weight of having to make a decision. And don't get sucked into this. It feels like this is old mind chatter coming up, being like, you can't do it. You got to make the right decision, and instead it's just like, give yourself some time, give yourself some peace and quiet. Four of Swords, give yourself some, like, take yourself away from the crowd. Don't go and like ask your friends what to do. All you need to do is keep following what lights you up, slow and steady. Keep following your heart. Keep following what it is that you want, and you're going to get there. Let the full moon illuminate for you what the path is and what needs to go, what's not working for you. I hope that helps. Welcome, Sagittarius, to your full moon in Capricorn reading. I'm so excited. I'm a Sagittarius sun sign, so I've always got a little for Sagittarius. So let's see what Sagittarius needs to know under this full moon in Capricorn, please. How can we support them through this transit? Let's see. Ooh. All right. We're going to kick it a little bit old school here. And it feels like, I'm going to show you these first three. We've got the Emperor. This is your sister sign, Aries, or your brother sign, Aries. So you are mutable fire. This is cardinal fire. We've got the 10 of Wands. This is your card. And we have the Chariot, and this is the card for Cancer. So it feels like we've got perfect timing here, where you're being asked to, under this full moon, you might be shown, but you're being asked to really put down. I feel like this is a father figure, or this is like an old, like, male figure, or somebody who always told you that they know better than you, and their voice got stuck in your head, which is not fair, but it is what it is. So it feels like there's this very strong, stubborn energy with you that actually doesn't fully resonate with you, but you've been carrying it, like holding yourself back based on like someone else's belief of what you're capable of. I almost said possible of, what you're possible of. No, what you're capable of. And this is your energy where you're like, you know what? I've carried that around for long enough. And it's like super intertwined with who I am, but it's also breaking my friggin' back. And I'm never going to get to this castle that's actually I'm destined for and that's like made for me if I'm continuing to carry his expectations and his, suit of armor and his baggage. So it feels like there's like a closing of generational trauma, a closing of generational expectations, a letting go of other people's BS or other people's baggage that you inherited, and that there's going to be some forward movement, baby. So I'm excited about this. And this feels like perfect timing because it's in this Cancer season right at the end, and allowing yourself to feel very balanced, to feel very capable. And what's really cool is it feels almost like the Chariot is a younger version of the Emperor. They have very similar crowns. They've got these very similar, like square, boxy things that they're surrounded by. They're both wearing their armor, but in different ways. This one, he's got it like hidden under his cloak and he's sitting. But this one, it feels like he's using it. He's really letting himself show up in it. And then they're both holding a wand. This is like the spirit of life, but this is something that feels like we're actually manifesting with it. It's like a magic wand. He's letting himself be guided by his intuition. We have the stars on this little curtain above him. We have everything we need in these sphinxes. There's nourishment here. There's health. There's movement. So it just feels like you get to bring in the energy that's moving you forward. You don't have to carry around Grandpa Mushroom Burger's old BS. It feels like it's going to bring up a whole new rebalancing. Things are going to get fun. Things are going to get exciting in tangible ways. And the call to adventure is going to come in. And if I know you, it's going to be a fun ride. So you might want to answer it. What's cool here too is that I almost felt like the white horse should be pulling the chariot. So it feels like you're both the knight who's riding the horse, and things are moving fast and like following really good ideas and like allowing that spark of inspiration to come in. It also feels like there might be communication coming in from outside of you. So staying open to like, if someone's contacting you and with an opportunity, even if you wouldn't normally have entertained it, it just might be a helpful stepping stone moving forward, just to even be open to it. I hope that's helpful, Sagittarius. Have a wonderful full moon in Capricorn. I'm excited to see where this takes you. Welcome, welcome, Capricorn. This is your full moon, your second full moon. You get all the fun. So this is your second full moon this year. How does it feel? How does it feel to be a repeat? Are we going to go for a three-peat? I don't think so. All right, let's see what's going on for Capricorn, please. Capricorn, under the full moon in Capricorn. All right. Let's see. I've got a little bit of confusion here. Not knowing what to do about feeling betrayed or feeling like someone's been pulling the wool over your eyes. It feels like a betrayal or some type of, like an idea that maybe you weren't fully being honest with yourself about. So this could be like a betrayal from outside, but it could also be like self-betrayal, where like you actually know better, or like you really know what you're talking about, or you really know how you feel and you can identify that and you can trust that. But it feels like for a while now you haven't. And so this full moon may be bringing up some of that for you to illuminate like, hey, you want to know why the one thing that you say that you want isn't coming in? It feels like because maybe you've actually built the life you want and filled the cups the way you want to, but you've been told or you've convinced yourself that you're actually missing something. You've got the 3 right in front of you, but you still continue to insist that you're missing one. And that may be causing some confusion, or that may be causing some feelings of like, I'm not sure. So it feels like this full moon may actually illuminate that for you. And that can be painful, but it can also be extremely empowering from within to be like, you know what, I am grateful for this life. I am super happy. And like, would it be great to have that last cup? Yes. But am I going to sit around and wait until my clothes go out of style before I do something about that? No, we're not doing that anymore, because we're the King of Wands. We're taking action. We're closing loops. We're letting ourselves feel that fire within us and follow it. Follow it. Follow our good ideas. Take action. Allow things to work for us instead of against us. Stop like bumping up against the same closed door again and again and again. Whatever door that is, I just keep hearing like, it's not going to open. It's not opening. That sucks. But it feels like, at least for now, like it's time to actually accept that and let yourself move forward. Enjoy, let the wheel spin. Let yourself find something that might be more aligned behind a door that actually will open for you. I highly doubt you want to look back at these years and be like, I wasted so many years looking for something that just wasn't going to happen. And I don't know what that is, but it's giving me like a sick feeling in my stomach. So I came in here like, oh, Capricorn, that's your reading. And then I'm like, oh, but let yourself a little bit under this full moon if you have to. Let yourself grieve if you have to. Like losing a dream or needing to admit something or needing to let something go. Like that's not easy, but it does feel like it's very supported right now. So I hope that that's helpful. Let's see what happens. I'm sending you a lot of love. Hello, hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your full moon in Capricorn reading. Let's see. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. There are new opportunities showing up for you under this full moon in Capricorn, and you're being asked to take some action. Don't get stuck at the door trying to figure out which, what do I do with this? Okay, I see this opportunity. How do I pursue it? What do I do with it? How do I make it work for me? That was so weird. I was just like, am I on Aquarius? I am on Aquarius. Did I say Aquarius? I hope I did. Yeah, who am I? Who am I talking to? What am I doing? Like those kind of feelings coming up where it's like, you know who you are. You know who you are. You have a strategy. You have intuition that you're connected with. Like asking questions of who am I? Like those are usually really valid, potent questions, but I feel like you're asking the wrong question right now because you know who you are. You truly do. You already said it. You already did it. You already are it. So just look around you. Who are you? Are you someone who is really lit up by things that you shouldn't be or that other people don't find value in? So you've been told that it's embarrassing to be that. It's like underwater basket weaver, okay? Like if that's your jam, but everyone else is like, oh, that's nerdy, then you're like, oh, that's nerdy. I shouldn't like doing that. But there's something around like really owning who you already are. And that really answers the question under this full moon of who am I? You already are it. Take some notice of yourself. Turn that light around on you. Look in the mirror. You're friggin' Aquarius. You rock. You're amazing. We know you by name. We know who you are. We know what you can do. If they can't see it, that's their loss. And I know that that's so hard. But you know who you are. And anyone who is trying to convince you that you're not that person or that you're not worthy or that what you like is not cool or whatever, that's peanut gallery stuff. Those are old karmic cycles that are ready to go. The universe keeps asking you, like, are you ready to stick up for Aquarius? Are you ready to stand up for what you know is fair? And it feels like the children need to be asked to leave the room so you can really do this work. I don't really know what that means, but I hope, Aquarius, I hope it's helpful. I hope you can figure it out. But it feels like there's some big movement under this full moon in Capricorn if you allow it. So I hope that's helpful. Sending you a lot of love. And last but not least, we have Pisces. Welcome to your reading. This is for the sign of Pisces for the full moon in Capricorn reading. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Pisces, this might be the best reading of the whole Full moon in Capricorn. You have the Seven of Pentacles. The fruit is ripening on the vine. The check is in the mail. The offer's on its way. The call is coming through. So stay alert, stay open to what you've already grown, the seeds you've already planted, and stay aware of what's coming through because it just feels like tangible growth is happening. Don't rush it. It's going to take its time. Be patient, but it feels like things are happening. So trust it without judgment. Don't hold yourself back. Let yourself show up, let yourself feel alive, vibrant, feel how you want to feel, but refrain from passing judgment on how you feel, how things are going, how fast it's going, how slow it's going, because that's not up to you. You can't change that. So you just have to keep moving with it. Queen of Wands, keep shining your light, keep letting yourself follow your joy, keep letting yourself like spark the joy in others. This could be a really good time to do some socializing, to ask people to come meet up. The Nine of Pentacles is also coming out. So there's that fruit ripe on Capricorn. And instead, focus your energy on what brings you joy and the people who bring you joy and the excitement in your life and the socializing. Then that fruit is going to ripen really fast. It feels like by mid-August, there's going to be some offers. There's going to be some tangible change. It feels very resourced. It feels very supported. And I know you can do this. We have the Six of Pentacles, which is saying to really notice where you may have some energetic drains, where people might be taking too much from you. Now is a good time to pay attention to the calls that are coming in, the texts that are coming in under this full moon, and just notice how you feel. Let's say your phone's ringing and you look down at it. Are you going, yay? Oh my gosh, I haven't talked to you forever. Or is it going like, oh, I don't have time for this right now. I don't have the energy for it. Same with text messages. Listen to your heart. It feels like your truth is really going to be coming out under this full moon in Capricorn. So don't hold back. Let yourself really be aware of what your body is telling you, what your emotions are telling you, and then take according action. Take action accordingly. Take according action. Learn how to play the accordion. No, but take some action based on that. So if it's someone who is making you go, ugh, then maybe put some distance between you and that person. If it's someone that's making you really excited, maybe it's time to close the gap there. We've got strength coming up too. So it feels like this is really going to pave the way for a really beautiful Leo season for you, which is going to immediately follow this full moon in Capricorn. So stay alert, stay open, make the tough decisions. Let yourself be guided by what is actually coming up for you under this full moon. Let yourself listen, be aware, and don't be afraid to change the players in your life and just see how that accelerates things for you. I'm sending you a lot of love, Pisces. Well, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for participating in this full moon in Capricorn reading. I'm sending all of you a lot of love. This is not easy energy. It is demanding a lot of us. So I just want to underscore that, like, to take care of yourself, stay hydrated, get some good sleep if you can. I know that the full moon really affects my sleep. So just stay close to yourself. And again, if you want to join us in breathwork this Sunday, July 21st, under the full moon, we're going to be moving a lot of energy. The information is down below. And if you want to get that for free as part of my private Genius Lab membership, join at the High Priestess level to get your all access pass to all events that I have all month long. Sending you a lot of love. Bye for now. Don't know how to end this right now. Bye for now.